Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And some space here. A big run that time by Rawls. 43 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Tim Brown. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Play clock winding down. Rodgers going to go on 4th under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Elvis Domerville from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Rodgers now on 1st down. Deep drop. Flushed out right. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle here to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
First down, this is Rawls. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Dwayne Allen, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Then Steve Smith hauls it in. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
It's a pickup of 19, and the Browns are going to have a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Rodgers now on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4-wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and script.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tiptoe catch back of the end zone, so tough to do, but he made it look pretty easy.
Certainly did, and the back of the end zone is treated the same way as the sideline. You have to get your feet down in bounds for it to count as a catch. How about the backgrounds of some of these guys, though? Did they work on it? Maybe some of them were ballet, some dance, who knows?
Yeah, you and I were talking the other day. I remember one of my favorite kids shows growing up. I don't know that I want to name it, but guys like Lynn Swan, they used to be on there showing their ballet skills.
And you have to remember when they were kids and their parents would tell them to take the ballet classes, you know they were fighting them like crazy. But right now they're saying, thanks, Mom.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
To throw is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Tim Brown. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Here's Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Well, he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers surveying the field. Now he's flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Rodgers to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
He's going to air one out. He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And this is caught. Touchdown. Cleveland. Victor Cruz in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns have taken the lead. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's got him in, complete. And he takes this down deep into Cleveland territory. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. On first down, Rodgers. They set up the screen to Rawls. Fighting through. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 33 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run it here with Bernard. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people...
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by C.O. Moore. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, here's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation with rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And finding Fedorowicz. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll come out in the pistol. On play action, Rodgers. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass, but you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Back near the goal line, here's Rodgers. They set up the screen to Rawls. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. On the sneak, Rodgers. They only get two there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And Matthews has it right side. And he is out of bounds, getting it just shy of the 35. Give him 16 on the pickup, and the Seahawks are going to have a first down. Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. Tim Brown, the intended target, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Cruz has it over the middle. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers now on first down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And quickly they get to the line. Now Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
To throw is Rodgers. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Back to throw. Rodgers. Caught. It's Cruz, left side. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there. Thank you, Larry. So the picks are in. We welcome you to this Draft Champions contest. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, ready to call the action. And let's get to it. Down to the field. It's time for kickoff. Two teams here amped and ready for football, and off we go in week 2 of Draft Champions. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st down, Rodgers. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's got his man Cruz. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense. Because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Dwayne Allen in motion. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And I think the ball's out. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's got some space here. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've caulked it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
First carry for the five-time Pro Bowler, LaDainian Tomlinson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers. There's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Breeze now. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Now a play fake. Breeze. He's going to air it out deep for Hogan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's
taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tim Brown, 56 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. You want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
His throw incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And ready for 3rd and 6. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. To throw, it's Breeze. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for the Raiders. 30 yards.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on third down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
Easy.
Slot man moves right. Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. 7 yards to go on second down.
Got it. Ready.
And the wideout in motion. On play action. Now Breeze. Caught left side to Crabtree. 23 yards on the play.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Halfback sent in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Second down following the run. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. The slot man in motion right. Snap comes at 1. And now Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down. On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. We'll try for 3. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's complete to Brown, right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jwillderbeast. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They go play action here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Slot man moves right.
53.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. Now Breeze wants the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Shift together here from the D-line. They go back to the air here after the INT. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Second down now after the incompletion. Rodgers will try again on second down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
So we have reached okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Breeze. Now Breeze wants the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
To throw, it's Breeze. Flush to his right, and he's got a noon one. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Quincy Enunwa, 83 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive? Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Daniil Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And they're going to speed things up here.
Chill. Ready. You ready?
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And he checks this one down to LT out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So
he rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Rodgers. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And now a first down following that long gain. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Trying to ram his way in, but they're going to hold him back at the goal line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They come out here in the eye. Rodgers with a keeper. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here. The defense looking to hold serve again. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls taking it in. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go. Monday.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. The slot man in motion right.
Here we go.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
21, he's a kill. Ready. Mike 50.
On third and long, it's Breeze. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Breeze now. Going for the deep ball. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And boy, possession. Thank you very much, Larry Ridley. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. We are ready for this draft champions matchup as you get a quick peek at some of the stars in today's game. We're ready to go. Let's get down to kickoff. The getting to know each other process is over. Time to get down to it. And we're off in week 3 of Draft Champions. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now McCoy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That one intended for Anquan Bolden. And now it's second down.
One thing we often talk about is setting the tone in a game. How about this? They came after him on play 1 and put him on the turf and forced an incompletion.
Something for him to think about immediately right off the bat.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to back off either. I think that they had success on the first play. Typically, when a defense does that, they've announced to you that this is what they plan to do throughout the game. I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 18 on that one. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Rawls. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. On the sneak, Rodgers. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's caught left side, Bolden. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's McCoy. being chased out left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Drops it underneath for Rawls. And give him 12 yards and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Detroit! Watch it now, Marty! Here we go!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go now.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw is incomplete. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. They'll look to throw again. They set up the screen to Rawls. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Here we go.
Now McCoy. Going to Rawls on the dump off. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On the ground, Rawls. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Thomas Rawls taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Broncos have taken the lead. And he knocks it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That's the type of pass play that you need to wait for routes to develop. You need a little time in the pocket. But that's hard to do when you got people in your face.
319!
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now Rodgers. And Matthews has it right side. Jordan Matthews all by himself. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jordan Matthews, 56 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Here's McCoy. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back out of that belly. Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down now after the pass completion. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. Nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now McCoy going to Rawls on the dump off. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go now. Back out of that belly. Here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They start on the ground with Rawls. And some room to roam now. And he'll cut it to the left sideline. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
To throw is Rodgers. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Rodgers to throw on second down. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field time.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mario Edwards in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And Allen's got it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough. Rodgers now on 1st down. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. You give him 15 more, and it's another 1st down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Back to the ground attack. It's Rawls. And a solid run down inside the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Well, there's something we haven't seen much of in this game. A really nice run. Do they decide to come back with it? Or is that just a little flash, and maybe they continue to try and throw the ball?
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
Rodgers going to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. An extra DB defensively here. Big stop needed on 3rd and goal.
He may be a blitzer.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Dwayne Allen, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory. But they got his man complete. The 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. J.J. Nelson, 77 yards. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you can do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen, what the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good, too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
This is Rawls. And he cuts it right sideline. They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Brown, the lone receiver, left. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 10 yards still left on second down. Rodgers throwing here. Over the middle, he's got Tim Brown. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a toss. This is Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
319!
They go again with Rawls. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now McCoy. Going to Rawls on the dump-off. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be third down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Backing up. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Finding time. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM. All right, Larry, hope everyone is settled in for a great Draft Champions contest. Here, lucky to witness it. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. These guys that you see on your screen, they won't be witnessing what should be an excellent game. Let's get down to the field. It's time for kick. Two teams that came into the NFL together back in 1976. The Seahawks and Bucks are underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, little 360. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And this one complete to Virgil Green. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be design runs as well as his scrambles.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds Coleman. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 45 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. LaShawn McCoy taking it in. And the Bucs take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On first down, Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down. They'll hand to Rawls. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. On second down, here's Rodgers. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 20! And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 41 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Counter play. Rawls. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll run with Rawls, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here's Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tim Brown, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he'll bang that one through. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. He juked him. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front, or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And now a first down following that long gain. A give to McCoy. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he cuts it. LaShawn McCoy off to the races. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. LaShawn McCoy with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. The Seahawks offense now. They get ready to come back onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A gain of 6 there on first.
When you have a quarterback who can move and get outside the pocket, yet still keep his eyes downfield and find open targets, you have a very dangerous player at that position.
And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, they're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Let's go.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Michael Vick scoring on the sneak from a yard out, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Brown, the lone receiver left. On play action, it's Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown?
Let's go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
Let's go. 58.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And Matthews has it right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. A running play for Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. He's got his man complete. It's Tim Brown. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Rawls. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Dwayne Allen in motion. The play clock's running down. Rodgers now to throw. And here the hook up good to Victor Cruz. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Rodgers now on 1st down. Trying to lay one up. It's caught at the 10. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tim Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Rolling to his left. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy. And now it's 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. 19 yards there on the pickup. And they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 50 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays it.
There goes Thomas Rolls. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rolls, 65 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And this one's back to an 8-point game. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Marks in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Let's go. Boom, 58. Boom,
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They give it to Rolls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And not great starting field position here for the offense. 1 man on the backfield. That's McCoy. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And an alley to run. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go!
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yards. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7th. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Back to throw here. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And Scobie's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Brown, the lone receiver left. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
319!
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Out to his left. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. One final try now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and he's going to fall on this one himself. So a bit of a weird ending for sure, but they will indeed come up short as this game is over. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.